If you feed your toddler prepackaged foods, you could be setting them on the road to obesity and high blood pressure. A new study by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says most pre-made toddler foods are loaded with salt and sugar. Researchers looked at more than 1,000 foods marketed for infants and toddlers. They found the amount of sodium in some foods was more than 4 times higher than the recommended levels. Well, with more on what parents need to know when buying food for their toddlers, I'm joined right here in studio by Leanne Phillipson-Webb. She is a nutritionist. She is the founder of Sprout Right. That's a company that focuses, by the way, on healthy eating for families. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I see you've brought some snacks. We're going to get to that in a moment. But let me ask you first about the sodium and the sugar content in foods. Why is that so harmful for toddlers and infants?
Well, honestly, it is for everyone, really. It's such a focus these days on looking at sugar and looking at salt. But when you're looking at toddlers, it really sets them up. The more they have, the more they want. And we're dealing with very small bodies that get topped up so much faster than us, but it's about that taste. The more they have, the more they want. And at such a young age, the trajectory of where they're going to head as in later life, there's going to be enough salt and sugar cravings coming even in teenage, adolescence. So keep it out of their diet as much as possible as they're younger.
And to help them that would help them make better food choices later on?
Definitely. The more fruits, vegetables, real whole foods they have, the better they want to keep on eating those foods. As soon as you get into prepackaged and all of those kind of things, which is what this study was talking about, then there's just that constant want. I want this. I want more cookies. I want more granola bars. I want more cereals, all of those kind of things.
We've all heard the I want.
We have.
Okay, so what are some of the worst offenders?
So we have a lot of prepackaged toddler meals now, which come in, like a little sort of TV dinner tray type of thing. When you turn that over and you look at the sodium content, anything that has pasta and tomato sauce in it, it is off the charts for sodium. In a day, a toddler should not be having any more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium, and per meal about 210 milligrams so that they don't go over the top. When you flip that over and you have a look at that, it's in the 300 or 400s of just sodium alone. When you get into prepackaged foods, even like these O's we have here, these are also very high in sodium, in sugar and sodium, and then
I've given my kids those. You go to the car and you take a little baggie full of O's and you keep them happy,
easy.
right? It's
I know.
easy. Yeah.
They're quiet in the back and you can get to where you're going.
Now, parents will and should look at labels, but what should they be looking for?
Right, so there's 2 aspects to a label. So we've got a label that has the ingredient list, so kind of like the recipe sort of thing. But this label here that you're looking at is the nutrition facts. So here we have per 3/4 of a cup, 75 milligrams of sodium, and then sugar we have 24 grams. That is an awful lot, and given that toddlers should be having about no more than 30 grams of sugar a day, that includes all of your fruit and vegetables too, that's, they've almost done it in one meal.
Yes, exactly. Now, you mentioned the O's, but you've also brought something else. These look like typical granola bars.
Typical granola bars, again, really, really high in sugar. No matter what you're buying, whether you're trying to go more sort of super healthy and organic, or it looks like it's marketed for toddlers and, oh, this should be perfect for my toddler and I'm in that aisle, so it should all be safe. Turn that around and have a read of the label. A lot of it is marketing, which gets us a little bit mixed up, but just turn it around and have a read.
Sometimes you see organic and you just reach for that because you think there's going to be less sugar, going to be less salt.
That's right. In a lineup of even tomato sauces, you have to read every single one until you find one that's right.
Let me ask you this, though. Sometimes we reach as parents for those packaged foods because it's easy and we don't have a lot of time.
You have that night.
And you try to justify it that way. But what are some easy things that parents can do at home to make healthy alternatives and healthy choices?
So the best way I suggest is meal plan. So plan out the week if you know it happens to be a crazy day, or like today it's crazy snowy and then you just don't make it, have those extras on hand. So don't not buy them, you have to feed your child, so you're going to have to give them something. So it's about balance, batch cook. And also maybe if you've got some friends with children the same age, everybody gets a recipe and makes something and then you swap. Everybody sort of shares the wealth of the batch cooking that you've done. And then at the beginning of the week, have a bunch of fruits and vegetables all chopped up in the fridge, so it's easy to grab. If there's something there and they're really hungry, they're going to have it. If they have to come say, "Mommy, I'm hungry, I want this," you might go for a package a little bit more. So as much prep in advance, we're all really busy. So the more prep, the better. And then that will counteract and balance for when you have to grab for those more processed meals that you wouldn't ideally want to give them.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I remember I used to get mangoes and kiwis and stuff, and if I peeled them and cut them up and put them in the fridge, they'd get eaten. But if I left them in a fruit tray, they wouldn't get eaten.
No, they just go bad in there.
Thank you so much,
Pleasure.
Leanne. Leanne Phillipson-Webb, nutritionist and the founder of Sprout Right. She is right here in studio.